Ladies and gentlemen, there may be some content on tonight's podcast that is not suitable for some listeners. Just thought you should know.
And now, live from the Squared Circle Studios in Wausau, Wisconsin, it's the Squared Circle Podcast. And here are your hosts, Max Beattie, and the Squared Circle Podcast heavyweight champion, Hart.
Unbelievable what we've gone through in the last 24 hours, the last 7 days even.
I really enjoyed the last 30 minutes of Raw, and then this Wednesday a lot more than I enjoyed this past Sunday.
Yeah, so welcome to the Squared Circle Podcast, episode 11. It is late here. We are getting this podcast done really late tonight.
And I'm sorry, everyone, if I sound like shit. I have been sick for several days now.
You sound like Macho Man Randy Savage almost.
I want to be sick all the time now.
So we're going to recap WWE TLC, the Monday Night Raw, NXT Takeover London, and we've got a little surprise for you coming up later in the podcast. Oh yeah, you're going to like it. So
I better. You just said I will. If I don't, I'm going to be disappointed.
Let's start with tables, ladders, and chairs. Now,
could we start with absolutely anything else?
We'll get through it more quickly than you think we're going to, because
I hope so.
I want to get to Monday Night Raw.
Never thought I'd be thinking that, like, oh, let's get through the pay-per-view so we can get back to Raw.
Yes, let's backtrack to last week where you said if we can totally skip. So, you had asked that we'd skip Monday Night Raw last week. Do you want to skip it again this week?
Why you gotta be like that?
Yep.
It's not even fair. We could skip TLC.
We shouldn't. That's the thing. Let's go over, you and I, for people who weren't watching, you and I did a live stream on Turnbuckle Productions' YouTube channel during the pay-per-view. And actually, we had a lot of fun with it. And I think we'll be doing that more often.
Oh, yeah. I had a lot of fun doing the live stream, talking to, the people that were actually giving us a little, response back. It was interesting. It was more interesting than most. I do want to be specific and say most of TLC.
Yeah. And let's do some things. Let's go with, first of all, spot of the night. I think you and I both can agree on this.
I think everyone agrees.
Yeah, the Selena Del Sol from the top of the ladder from Kalisto on...
How did no one die?
I'm shocked that no one died because of that.
How did the injury list not gain 2 members?
Well, it gained 2 members, King Barrett and Stardust, over the last week, but we won't go over that.
God is dead.
Yeah. So, now let's go with best match of the night. What do you think?
Same match.
The ladder match?
For me, easy. By a mile.
Moment of the night? It's got to be the only title change.
I want to be... part of me wants to be a little, snarky and go, oh, that's Selena Del Sol. But no, probably Ambrose picking up the Intercontinental title.
Right. Scale 1 to 10. Let's see here, you had predicted Kevin Owens to win.
Oh, yeah. And
I took Dean Ambrose almost on a whim. I didn't think he was going to win. 1 to 10, what did you think he was going to win? Maybe a 3?
I go so I say like a 4.
Yeah,
But not high.
Right. And so, I don't know, the ending of TLC was pretty good. I mean, it certainly won the fans over with Reigns.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know if it won them over so much as, a guy that's, slightly interesting at least, who puts forth more than a modicum of effort and has been visually improving, is in fact a better decision and a better option than the spiky-haired nothing.
Ugh.
It wasn't really so much for me like, it's this feel-good moment. It was more of a, the crowd is realizing it could have actually been better.
Yeah, and we'll get to what happened later on Monday Night Raw. Oh, thank God. Oh, just a sigh of relief. So, anything else you want to talk about on TLC? I mean, it wasn't an event, I guess, a memorable pay-per-view.
Oh, God, no.
A memorable one, but it led into Monday Night Raw, and the numbers were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The numbers actually going into hour 3 of Monday Night Raw went up.
which is nice.
Well, yeah,
Good to hear.
They were up over, I think, almost 1 million people.
Damn.
Up than last week.
And that's hitting them fat stacks.
So let's move into Monday Night Raw. Let's cover this one in a little bit more in depth, which is something I thought I wouldn't say for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
But, oh, man. First of all, just the matches all around were pretty good, you know?
Oh,
just
yeah.
The way that they were booked. So, I told you about this before the show, is the original way that Monday Night Raw was supposed to start is one that we've already seen. Reigns and Sheamus are in a talking promo for 15 minutes about who's the better man. Nobody really cares. But Monday Night Raw in Philadelphia now started with Stephanie McMahon. Well, it started with, I forget how it exactly started. Oh, no, yeah.
It did start with
Lillian
Stephanie.
Garcia. Oh, God. Garcia did say, ladies and gentlemen, one of the principal owners of WWE, Stephanie McMahon, she came out, and Reigns came down, and oh my God, I think she slapped Roman Reigns
7 times.
You counted 7 times?
Counted 7 personally.
Oh my God.
His face was red.
Yeah, and he like almost had tears in his eyes.
But, I mean, there are little things I can nitpick about this segment, little things that personally just stuck out to me, myself, and I. But overall, everything's made up for. Just, they turned Roman Reigns into exactly what they should have been doing with him from the very beginning. He's a big, strong, cool-looking, actually kind of cool badass who only speaks when he needs to, and when he does, it's every bit as impactful as when he spears you in half. It's perfect. No more suffer and succotash. No more of this long-winded bullcrap. They even managed to let him say, happy birthday to his daughter, and that still managed to come across as kind of cool in some way. I don't know how you have a grown man look into a camera talking about like a 4-year-old going, Daddy loves you, baby doll, and somehow make it sound like the most badass line you've heard in the last 5 minutes, but they did it.
He did the same thing on SportsCenter. They gave him like 20 seconds on SportsCenter the day after to say hi to his daughter and say he'll be home soon. And it was awesome. So, but we find out that for the first time in over a year, the boss, the chairman of WWE, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, is coming to Monday Night Raw. And I just said that. I literally got chills.
I think it's great, though, that we got Vince McMahon, like, whenever he's not on the show, everybody and their mother bitches about him because he's out of touch, he makes all the terrible decisions, his sense of humor is horrible, he's flushing the company down the toilet. Vince McMahon's going to be on TV. Oh, my God! And everybody goes, happily losing their mind.
Everybody went nuts.
I think he was
trending on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. I think it's just because there's a huge difference between Vince McMahon, the performer, the character, and Vince McMahon, the guy who makes all the decisions. The performer, the character, is this dynamic, interesting villain or hero, whichever he needs to be at the time. And the guy who makes all the decisions is kind of that out-of-touch old man. And I just like the fact that there's enough of a separation that wrestling fans are kind of just, you know what, he's going to be on screen. I won't hate him for the next 3 hours. I'm okay with that.
Right. And that's the really cool part is Vince McMahon, no matter what he does, can step in the WWE ring and everybody, their attention is on him. And I think especially being the boss, that is awesome. So, first match of the night, well, we would find out actually that Vince McMahon would decide Roman Reigns' fate from Stephanie McMahon, and we'll get to it when we actually get to it. So the first match, Dolph Ziggler versus the Intercontinental Champion, Dean Ambrose. Oh, you and I lost our minds during the live stream when Dean actually won. And it was one of those moments where first of all, we didn't see it coming. Second of all, it was shocking. Because he covered after a pop-up powerbomb?
Something like that.
Yeah, he reversed a pop-up powerbomb and did that whole legs back up in the air, and then he leans back and then grabs Kevin's legs and leans forward. But good God, that was so much fun. So Dolph Ziggler versus the Intercontinental Champion. Dolph wins on a disqualification. You'll never know who got involved in this match.
Could it be Kevin Owens?
Oh, no. I'm just kidding. It was Kevin Owens.
Oh, yeah, I know. I gotta say, though, him running in and just multiple times over, powerbombing Dean Ambrose to death. And then Dean Ambrose, first off, him selling it. There's something about the way Dean Ambrose sold it that it's like, oh, that actually had some momentum. A lot of guys, they'll take the pop-up powerbomb and just sort of lay flat. And it's just that much force. You should have bounced a little.
It's certainly been a week of really good selling.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Triple H after TLC getting the shit kicked out of him by Roman Reigns. Dean Ambrose selling the pop-up power bombs from...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
But then just the powerbomb of Ziggler onto Ambrose, and then the promo afterward where he's going completely just unchained, and, you know, it's like, I'm going to send him to an asylum. It's just... I love Kevin Owens. The dude is amazing at what he does.
Yeah,
He's a
and
perfect heel.
I love Kevin Owens too, and that's why I was a little shocked when he lost the title. Which this makes me hope that he's now going to be put in the world title contention. You know,
Possible.
We'll I guess we'll figure out down the road. You know, we're getting towards Rumble. He could possibly win the Rumble. You know, go to WrestleMania.
Be interesting.
It'd be bold. And we know how bold works in this company. So, the next match, Bo Dallas versus R-Truth.
This match existed for one reason, and that was to set up an interruption.
Oh, boy, and it was the interruption of the year. The Boss Man comes down to the ring.
Get the hell out of my ring!
That was pretty much it.
This cold, the cold actually helped with that.
My God, that was beautiful.
That'd be sick every time I want to do a Vince McMahon impression.
We'll try and get you a Slammy this year for Best Impersonation of the Year.
You know, the Slammies usually suck, so...
Hey, well, those Slammies are fun to watch, so...
Fun.
So Vince McMahon calls Roman Reigns to the ring, and Roman Reigns comes down to the ring through the Titantron, which I can't remember the last time Roman Reigns has come through the actual entranceway.
I can't either. It's been way too long.
Yeah. So, and we would find out from Mr. McMahon that Roman Reigns' punishment pretty much would be a title match. And if he loses, or if he doesn't win the title, period.
Which is, he did specify that, which is something I liked. Because then it's like, oh, well, Roman Reigns won, but it was the Dusty finish. He doesn't get the title. Yeah, and in this case, that would still get his ass fired. He had to win the title.
Right, if he got disqualified. And that was my first thought, is the League of Nations would get involved. And then I was like, shit, that would mean he's fired.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, the League of Nations getting involved, they had the easiest job in the world. All they'd have to do, Sheamus is just like, say, you know, he gets tossed to the outside by Roman Reigns, right? He's standing out there, the League of Nations shows up, they'll kind of look at each other, and he just sort of pats his cheek, and one of them just very gently slaps him. Ding, ding, ding. That would be all it took, and then they just stand there and point and laugh at Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns explodes like a volcano with rage.
Well, Vince was distracting the ref, and I thought he would have stopped distracting the ref when the League of Nations got involved, because that would then that would cause the disqualification, and Reigns would be fired. But no, Vince kept talking to the ref while this was all happening, and then when the ref stopped, well, the ref stopped because of another reason, but
well, yeah.
But yeah, so Roman would have to win the title to keep his job. Fair and simple. And I just had that moment of, well, there goes Roman Reigns. Yeah. So the next match would be a tag team match. Ryback and Jack Swagger versus the League of Nations.
I have nothing to say about this match.
Neither do I.
This match is a blank white wall with a stick figure drawn on it.
Yeah, pretty much. This match was boring. You know, thank God it happened during the second hour.
Let's not insult the word boring. Boring gives you something. It makes you go, I'm bored. This match made me go, I want to die.
Yeah. So the next match, Neville versus Tyler Breeze, with The Miz shouting from ringside.
You know, as much as I like The Miz, and I know, oh, you like The Miz. I do. It's not even like ironic or a hipster thing. I actually like him. I think he's very funny. He's good on the mic. He's a great heel. And when he wants to be, he's a good wrestler. That being said, as a fan of The Miz, this is one of the worst uses of him I've ever seen. He was not annoying in the sense that, oh, he's being a heel. He was annoying in the sense of, I changed the channel. Legitimately changed the channel. I found out later how things went down, and my reaction to finding out how they went down and then looking it up on YouTube was, well, glad to see I didn't miss anything.
So Neville wins against Tyler Breeze with the red arrow. of course.
Whoa.
I wish these two would be booked better. They really deserve to. I mean, for God's sakes, Tyler Breeze debuted on SmackDown, of all places. Why do you debut somebody on SmackDown, which has at least...
SmackDown used to mean something. It hasn't meant anything since, 2006, but still.
Let's hope that it starts to mean something again now that it's moving to USA Network. It's not on Sci-Fi anymore. Starting in January, it's on the USA Network.
That might... If anything else, it might just become a really unimportant show that has a bigger audience.
I wish, and they hired somebody. I guess I don't know him, what he's famous for or his work. They hired a new commentator guy, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's he called the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. He's called so many things. He's pretty good in the world of commentary, and they've hired him for SmackDown. So that makes me think, one, they're looking for new commentators, and maybe two, they're looking to actually go live again with SmackDown.
If you're looking for new color, if you're looking for new play-by-play, not color, I volunteer.
Yeah.
I know moves. I know names. I know how to do this.
Vince.
I'd be better than fucking Cole.
Vince, if you're listening, get rid of JBL on Monday Night Raw. Get rid of Byron Saxton. Get rid of Michael Cole.
Well, no. Keep Michael Cole.
Okay,
but
keep
stop
Cole.
telling him what to do so we can go back to the Michael Cole that existed from 1997 to about 2004.
Yeah, I agree. Michael.
Back when he was Michael, not Maggle.
Yeah, I swear to God. Every time it's Michael, not Michael.
It's the JBL getting in the way.
The next match was one I was pretty interested in, and I can't remember who I was talking to, and they said they turned it off. The Wyatt family versus the Dudley Boys, Tommy Dreamer and Rhino in an Extreme Rules match.
This is the match they should have had at TLC, because the match at TLC could best be described as Bubba Ray Dudley turned into an old man and forgot how to wrestle.
Yeah, he really did.
Like that bit where he was holding up the trash can because he couldn't get the timing right on the punch counter. It's just like, dude,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. This match was really good.
This really was.
This was a great second hour match. It really kept the attention of Monday Night Raw viewers.
It's almost like they were trying.
Yeah, they actually remembered how to book something.
And hey, the Wyatts won 2 in a row.
Yes, they did.
They're still completely irrelevant, but they won 2 in a row.
Yes. I'm a little upset that the person that won by pinfall was Eric Rowan.
I'm okay with that.
Are you?
Yeah, I don't really have a reason for it. Just for some reason, for whatever purpose, I'm okay with it.
Okay. Yeah, he would put Rhino through a table, then immediately pin him. 1, 2, 3.
And see, he pinned the Ryback. That's why I was okay with
it. Yeah, he pinned the NXT version of Ryback. Yeah, that's right.
Well, now I'm depressed.
Yeah.
Just depressed.
But there was one cool thing, and I showed this to you earlier today, that Luke Harper took a kendo stick and, bounced it off the mat, and then it, flew over the top rope, and Bubba Ray saw it, and he caught it midair, and then slid into the ring and started beating the shit out of Luke Harper with it. You couldn't plan that if you tried.
Oh, God, no. No way. Sometimes little random miracles happen like that. But again, it just points me in the direction of where was that Bubba Ray on Sunday?
Mm-hmm. It was. TLC was, we gave it, 5 on our live stream?
I think I did a 5.5.
We were in that range. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't Survivor Series quality by any means necessary.
If
Survivor
it was, I'd need to take a couple weeks off.
Yeah. But, to be honest, TLC was a lot better than the pay-per-view that shall not be named. Yeah. But it still could have been better. And I hope Rumble and Fastlane, and there's one more in there, and I can't remember what it is.
Rumble, Fastlane.
Is it Elimination Chamber still in there?
Yeah, the Elimination Chamber. But nobody really hated Elimination Chamber. They just kind of, you got rid of that pay-per-view.
Oh, no. This year it's just Royal Rumble and Fastlane, and then it goes right into WrestleMania.
I thought, maybe last year was the year they brought the
Elimination Chamber is scheduled to be after WWE Payback this year. That's interesting. I don't remember that.
Okay.
I thought the Elimination Chamber was right after the Rumble. Or maybe
it used to be.
Didn't Fastlane replace Elimination Chamber and then they brought it back? Because people are like, where the hell's the Elimination Chamber?
Yeah. I mean, and then they brought the Elimination Chamber back, and it was just kind of but nobody really hated it.
Yeah. So after that, the Wyatt family wins, and I'm glad that they won. After that, the Divas champion Charlotte and Becky Lynch versus Brie Bella and Alicia Fox. We're back to these kind of team things again. Not fully, but the seeds are still there.
Yeah, enough that it annoys me.
Team Bad. Team Bad in of itself is
they
getting better.
Work-ish.
Yeah, they work a lot better than, say, Team PCB and Team Bella.
Well, in all fairness, Team Bad has Sasha, so...
Amen. You have Sasha, you're golden.
It's like, but she's teamed up with like a 2x4 and a hockey mask. Yeah, but Sasha's on the team.
Yeah. So the main thing about this match is poor two-time Hall of Famer Ric Flair dragged out to the ring again by his daughter. God, they're using this poor old man as a fucking prop, and he's a two-time Hall of Famer and a 16-time World Heavyweight Champion. And he's being dragged out to the ring to interfere with a Divas match that doesn't mean shit. Ugh.
Yeah, I really actually don't have much to add to that.
That's it. And that's... this match ended because Ric Flair got involved somehow. I think he grabbed
Becky Lynch's leg.
He grabbed Brie Bella's leg.
Was it Brie?
Yeah, and then Becky Lynch went for
Becky
the
Lynch
disarmer.
didn't see it. That's right.
Right. Yeah.
Which I like the idea of her getting this face push by not, she's still friends with this heel because, well, they were friends for a while there. She cares about her and she wants, she expects more. She wants her to be better than what she's been doing. And, she isn't a part of when they cheat. Like, she wasn't aware that Ric Flair was doing that. I like that. Promotions have done that in the past. It can work just fine. And if they actually go somewhere with this, awesome. That means they're going somewhere with Becky Lynch. I love Becky Lynch. But do we really think this is going to go anywhere?
God, I hope so.
See, I hope so too, but I don't think it's actually going to. That's the problem.
A Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Sasha Banks triple threat match. Sign me up!
Yes!
All right, so we head into the main event. Roman Reigns versus the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Sheamus.
Again, as I said, the match we should have gotten at TLC, maybe with just a few extra ladder spots thrown in.
Now, the only thing, and I didn't catch this at first, and it's maybe because, like I've said, I'm not a more seasoned veteran WWE fan. Right before this match, and when Roman Reigns is walking down to the ring from the crowd like he always does, Michael Cole cuts a promo for Roman Reigns. He's going to be on SportsCenter on Tuesday night to talk to Coach. Now that I look at it, it was a dead giveaway that Roman was going to win.
Yeah. For me, I had to make dinner at that point, so my back was to the TV. I wasn't paying a lot of attention, so I didn't see the ESPN banner. I really didn't hear. I heard Michael Cole's voice and tuned out the words a bit since I needed to focus on what I was doing. So I didn't actually get that. So for me, I turned back around, focused my attention back on the show, and I'm just getting the match. Now, that being said, just because I didn't catch it doesn't mean it wasn't a giant mistake. I get it. He's going to be on ESPN SportsCenter. And I understand that these days you can't do the kind of crap you'd pull back in the day where, we won't tell SportsCenter who's going to win the match, so that way the winner goes on SportsCenter.
Right, and that's how it should have been.
Anymore.
That's how it should have been. Is Michael Cole should have promoted the winner of this match will be on SportsCenter tomorrow to talk about their victory over the other person.
Yeah, because even if you can't actually book SportsCenter like that anymore, you can at least make it seem like that's what you're doing.
You can still tell SportsCenter who's going to win. Just don't tell us.
And just have SportsCenter just tell them not even, tell them, just tell them not to say a damn word.
I mean, to be completely honest, first of all, this segment's on ESPN News. Who the hell, to be completely honest, I had to search for ESPN News to watch this. I watched it on Tuesday. It was a good segment, but who the hell knows where ESPN News is on their cable package? Not me. Not you.
I didn't know there was
not our special guest sitting in the room. My sister's in the room tonight.
I didn't even know that ESPN News was a thing.
Right. ESPN News, I guess, is like 24 hours of SportsCenter.
Okay, okay. Between the two of us, the closest I get to real sports is pro wrestling. Outside of that, it's pretty much just anime and video games and
your
whatnot.
job, you have to sit through sports every so often.
Yeah, but I kind of just sort of drown it out a little.
Yeah. So this match, honestly, I did not, now that I look back on it, I know who was going to win, but I wasn't really paying attention to the ESPN promo.
Yeah.
I really did not know who was going to win this match. I wanted, of course, I really wanted Roman to win. I wanted Roman to finally have the title. Especially to be right back 11 months later where you were booed out of your mind by Philly. The Rock got booed in Philadelphia, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
11 months later, we're still in Philadelphia. And I'm thinking if Roman wins, they're going to burn, burn the place down. And no. Roman Reigns.
There was definitely some dissension. You could hear it. There were some boos. There were some naysayers.
Right.
But like they always say, Cena's got like 50% of the crowd on his side, 50% against him. Roman probably had like a good 80-20 split going there.
Yeah. And, a lot of things happened during this match. First of all, the first time that Roman won, quote unquote, I'm putting air quotes in the air, is Mr. McMahon pulls out the referee at the count of 2.5. Ref is coming down with 3, and Mr. McMahon pulls the ref out of the ring. And I'm thinking, no, it can't end like this. And you see the League of Nations come down and try to interfere, and Roman just kicks them to the fucking curb, just annihilates them. Well, Rusev and Del Rio. Barrett wasn't on TV at the time because he was suffering from a minor neck injury, which he's back on SmackDown tonight. But
what was the neck injury? Was it just like a stinger?
Like a stinger, pretty much, yeah.
Annoying, but...
Yeah, so then after that, Roman gets back in the ring, and then Sheamus hits him with white noise.
Yeah.
And then Mr. McMahon throws the ref back into the ring to then count the 3, and Roman kicks out of white noise. And then Roman is standing above Sheamus, just looking down at him. And he looks over at Mr. McMahon, and I'm thinking, there's no way in God that he's going to do this. And you see him start to run, Superman punch to the boss. Oh.
And all I can say is I'm glad for 2 reasons that they went with the Superman punch over the spear. Reason number 1 is, honestly, I think the spear would have been overkill.
Yeah.
You
probably would have killed a 70-year-old man.
Well, no. Not that. It's more Vince McMahon, despite the fact that he is, if he was just in Muscle and Fitness last year, and the dude, if you look at him from the neck up, yeah, he's a 70-year-old man. You look at him, from the neck down to the waist, I'm 26, and that fucker's in better shape than I am. Then again, my diet consists of, pretzels and video games and anime, so not the most nutritious diet, but still. My point is, but you wouldn't need... It
would be overkill.
He's an older character. He's an older man. He's a non-wrestler. That'd be like if... It's one of the reasons why a lot of people, even Cena fans, were kind of like, really? When he did the attitude adjustment on Jon Stewart, it's like, dude, you could have just, punched him and that would have been enough. You're John Cena and he's, Jon Stewart. What the hell?
Yeah.
The other reason is I'm pretty sure that had he actually speared Vince McMahon off the ring apron, Vince McMahon's hips would have exploded and the rest of him just would have shattered into a million pieces. So, Superman punch, and he sold that like a goddamn gunshot.
Yes, he did. He sold it better than Dolph Ziggler getting hit.
Oh, God, yeah. He sold that like he was hit by a train, and it was just beautiful.
Yes. So, Roman Reigns hits... Well, first of all, Roman Reigns hits Mr. McMahon with the Superman punch. Then he turns around, gets hit with a brogue kick by Sheamus.
And he powers out.
And he kicks out of the brogue kick. And then Sheamus is doing the beats on his chest.
He's going to do it again.
He's going to do it again. Then Roman hits him with a spear. That's it. 1, 2, 3. Game over. Roman Reigns is your new... Oh, thank God.
And I kept thinking, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. Something is bound to take this moment away from us. Raw ends with him holding up the title. Then I watched that, that promo thing that he cuts where he addresses the crowd that was basically, hey, 11 months ago, I wasn't ready. And you guys, rather loudly and with lots of bullshit chants, let me know. And I got kind of uppity, and that was bad. I improved. I got humble. And now you guys, you made me better. Thanks. Thank you for not hating me tonight.
And the crowd, they popped.
Oh,
They
yeah.
won. They
They're
really
all
did.
over it. Now, I'm pretty sure if we went to if they'd done this in, say, Chicago, he still would have gotten the shit booed out of him. But that's just because you could, unless it's a heel or CM Punk, Chicago boos everybody because Chicago wrestling fans are dicks.
Yeah. So
no
Roman
offense to any
Reigns,
fans in Chicago, please.
Roman Reigns is the third title holder from the Shield. He is the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Technically a two-time champion.
Technically a two-time champion, but we're gonna gloss over that.
Yeah,
'Cause
you just know that if he ever turns heel again, he'll bring that up. Be like, well,
Yep.
technically I'm a two-time champion. Didn't
Yeah, the first reign lasted 5 minutes and 12 seconds. By the way, I did go back and count. It was 5:12.
I knew WWE was wrong.
So WWE lied to us. It's not 5:15. It's 5:12. And Sheamus can go kiss his own arse.
Cute.
So, out of 10, Monday Night Raw.
7.
7. Very good. I give it an 8. It wasn't very good, but over the last 8 or 9 months, it's one of the best Raws.
I mean, that's not that hard, but still.
Yeah. So we're going to get into NXT here in just a little bit, but before we do that, here is one of 2 surprises for tonight.
Okay.
I got you this. It's blue. It's in a little thing.
It's in a little
And we're going to have you open it here live on the air.
Oh, no.
So go ahead and open that here real quick.
Ah, it's a Bailey shirt.
It is a Bailey I'm a Hugger shirt. Said it last week on the program.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, you really, really wanted that shirt. So I got it for you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're an awesome co-host. So I didn't know if we were going to do a show next week for Christmas. So Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Yes. So we're going to get into NXT Takeover London. Oh, my God, dude. This. Just this. She's asking for the wrapping paper, by the way.
Oh. I'm smart. What the hell was that?
This show.
I will say this. I'll be completely upfront. I didn't like it as much as Takeover Respect.
True.
But
you know what really, why I really enjoyed this show a lot better?
Why?
Was because of the crowd.
And I'll admit, I'm one of those people. I have this tendency to agree a bit with Mick Foley. I do think crowds go way too overboard. I think there are way too many fans that buy a ticket just so they can chant, so they can be a part of the show or shit on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I also understand that, especially with American fans, it's a different culture. They're going to say what they want. I get that. Maybe that's your prerogative. You bought the ticket. If you're going to chant something, get into the show and actually have the chant mean something as to what's going on. Almost everything they chanted, everything they did was relative to what was going on. And some of these chants actually added and contributed to the matches and the atmosphere. And just the crowd was so on point with that. And there was a couple of moments where I had to rewind because I was laughing at the chant.
Yeah. So let's go here. The first match, Asuka versus Emma.
For me, I can't decide between this and one other match as to which match I consider match of the night.
Yeah.
But dear God.
This really made Emma look good. It really did.
And here's the best part. The one big thing, I mean, there's so much I could praise with this match. Jesus Christ. But the one thing that I want to praise above everything else is they made Asuka look like a beast. This is like the biggest put over I've seen of someone in a while. But they managed to put her over in a 2-on-1 scenario without making the other two look weak. They made Dana look like a strong heel. They made Emma look like a badass heel. But they still managed to... It was a simple matter of, you know what? Dana Brooke and Emma are good. They're really good. But they realized they can't take her 1-on-1. They can't take her 2-on-1. They needed to cheat 2-on-1 to do it. They're both good. Asuka's amazing.
Yeah, there's no arguing with that. Asuka is...
And all I'm going to say is right now, maybe this is just because I've gotten so used to seeing men and women wrestle each other in Lucha Underground, but I'm just saying, NXT Championship, Asuka, Balor, I would pay... I would steal someone else's children and give them to you if that gave me that match.
Yes. Unfortunately, I would agree with that.
I mean, dear God, like she rolls out of the way of a coup de grace and just does that back kick that got her the knockout. He kicks out at like 2 9/10. The crowd just dies.
They die, and everybody just falls back and likes it.
And they just kind of look around and go, well, screw it, let's keep going. There's probably someone watching at home. Anyway.
So this match...
This match was bonkers.
It was. Emma, oh boy. Like I said, this made Emma look... I'm going to turn this off because it keeps going off. Emma just was amazing in this match. She really was. And, I thought this was going to be a one-sided match. It really wasn't one-sided, you know?
I will say this. After a certain point, and it wasn't even like, the halfway point, but after like a couple of minutes, it became very clear. Like, I don't look up spoilers, so I legitimately did not know how any of these matches were going to go down. I prefer to go into my wrestling the same way I go into any TV show or movie or book. I like to go in blind.
Oh, that's right. You watched this after it actually happened.
Yup. So I stayed off of Facebook. I stayed away from a lot of certain websites because I didn't want the spoilers. But after a certain moment, like maybe 3 minutes in, I just went, there's not a chance that Asuka's losing this. Like, don't get me wrong. Emma's good. Emma's great. But this is like if this were one of the Rocky movies and some rando got out of the crowd and maybe he knows how to fight, but he challenges Rocky or Creed and just get boom, knocked down in 2 shots. That's what this was. This person, like, Emma's great. She's not winning. There's not a chance in hell.
Right. So one of the more interesting points in this match is when the women were doing something. I think Asuka was trying to put Emma down to the ground for the Asuka lock, and they collided with the official. He went down.
Yeah.
And then Dana Brooke takes off her studded belt and throws it in the ring at Emma. And then Asuka and Emma are kind of like tugging at it.
Yeah.
Asuka gets a hold of it, and that's when the ref turns around. And
yeah, they do the false. It looked like they were going to do the false cheating finish. And since everything was just so on point, as soon as the ref turned around and saw Asuka holding the chain, they started booing the hell out of it. Because they expected it. They went, no, that's how it's going to go down, and we don't, no. And then it didn't. And then everything was fine. And then Asuka got right back to killing innocent people with her feet.
Yes. And I'm glad it didn't. And Dana gets ejected from the ringside, and Emma tries to do something to Asuka. Your winner by knockout.
No. I mean, let's face it. If the ref had actually decided, it would have been knockout. But it was a pinfall.
Sure, to an unconscious body, but it was still a pinfall.
I think they just didn't want to do the knockout thing twice in a row, especially since that's like the first time they've ever done it.
That's the first time I've ever heard it. So
same here.
Asuka wins via pinfall over Emma in a great first match.
Like I said, one of the 2 matches of the night for me.
The next match ended a way that I think is not as good as they should have.
Here's the thing. I think I disagree with you on that one.
Really?
I loved the match itself. I really enjoyed. I loved the story going into it. The idea of, Enzo and Cass, like, one of them gets really severely hurt by another team, and they stop goofing around. They stop being goofballs. They stop being kids, basically. They get serious. And everything they said made sense. The week before, like, hey, you take him out, you take her out, you're attacking my family. You take one of them out, you put my future in jeopardy. Here's the thing. He said, put my future in jeopardy. When Enzo said that, it made it make sense from a wrestling standpoint, too. Like, I'm a tag team wrestler. What happens to me if you take out my teammate? It was just, I love that idea of these guys being those goofy, silly jobbers that finally got serious, finally knuckled down, gave it everything they had, and couldn't get the job done.
Yeah. So my next question is this. Mike Mathers, a friend of the show, Mike Mathers, posed this question to us. Do we maybe see Enzo and Cass called up to the main roster?
I don't think that's what it was. I think they're going to probably get another shot. I don't know if they'll make it or not.
Do they wait until Takeover Dallas for that?
I forget, when is Takeover Dallas?
That's WrestleMania time, so in April.
That's
4 months away.
Yeah, that's a little ways away. I don't think so. I don't think this is necessarily to call them up. I think the problem is that since those two have always been the comedy team, they've always been a wacky duo, and they've only recently, like, Colin Cassidy was always a great wrestler, but he couldn't talk that well. Enzo was the opposite. That's why they put them together. Now that they've both kind of gotten to this point where all the parts work, I think they want to make them like one of the stalwart, faces, the recognizable elements of NXT for at least a while. So I don't think we're going to see them get a call-up anytime soon. At least not in the next couple weeks. That's my personal take on it.
So this match, NXT Tag Team Champions, was it Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder defeat Enzo and Cass.
Shatter Machine off the second rope.
Yep. And, I mean, this was a very good match. I really thought Enzo and Cass were going to have it. But, hey, they retained, and I give them... I'm not saying that I am upset about the way it ended.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I don't know a lot about Dash and Dawson to really care if they're retaining.
The problem I think with them is they very much seem like transitional champions, like they just are there to be the fill. The problem is, and I know that a lot of fans wouldn't, and I know I wouldn't, but I think there are fans out there, and I definitely think that WWE, and I even think NXT Creative use Enzo and Cass as transitional champions. Right now, I think...
I mean, who are you transitioning to? That's the thing.
Honestly, the way the shows have been being built, the fan reaction, the reception from trainers and legends and wrestlers backstage, I think the next long-standing champs are going to be Jordan and Gable.
I would agree. And
I'm not even saying that because I really like them, or they're, the next, like if you took Kurt Angle and cloned him. I mean, I do think that, but still, I honestly think there's something there that really connects with the crowd, that connects with NXT, so I think they're going to be the next ones.
They're so over on the crowd. I have no words for how over they are.
I have words. 4 of them.
What's that?
Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn. That's the over.
Which I was a little upset that Sami Zayn wasn't. I'm not saying wrestling NXT Takeover.
Oh, no. Technically, he did. He had a match. It wasn't put on air as part of the card.
That's right. No, I know where it is.
It's on .com.
No. It's next week. It's on NXT. NXT next week.
Because, we won't recognize the crowd or the stage.
I think everybody knows that they're on their UK tour. So I think everybody watching NXT next week is going to realize that, hey, we have this really huge arena with over 10,000 people there. Let's just book an NXT. Let's just shoot an NXT episode for the last one for the year.
Now, I will point out that next week when we do this podcast, I will be, in fact, floating into the room because Sami Zayn will have returned, and I'll be cushioned by my happiness.
Yes. Really? There you go. Just for you. Took a little bit, but I needed to start it at least a little bit. You want to get up and dance?
Nah, I'm good. Nobody needs to see that, especially me.
Yeah, Sami Zayn. Well, he was back on the UK tour. He did wrestle a couple times against Finn Balor on the just NXT Live UK tour.
What?
Speaking of
he
which,
wrestled.
Speaking of which,
there is a. I'll put this in indie wrestling terms. There was a Prince Devitt versus El Generico match, and no one told me. I am angry.
Speaking of which,
I am outraged.
And Triple H announced earlier this week, right after NXT Takeover, that NXT would be doing a tour of the Midwest, and they're coming to Green Bay, Wisconsin on January 15th. Our buddy Nate the Great from Pro Talk Wrestling has secured 3 tickets for us in the front row.
Now here's the question.
I don't think the front row, but we're in the section where they're coming down the ramp. We're in that left section. Section 108.
Oh my God, that's awesome. But now the question is this for NXT tapings, or is this going to be like a live show?
It's just an NXT live, but still.
Confirmed, that's fine.
Confirmed superstars Finn Balor, Bayley, Samoa Joe, Baron Corbin, Apollo Crews will be there. We'll be there, broadcasting live from the Shopko Hall.
I forget, when is this going to be again?
It's going to be January 15th. It's going to be a Friday.
Okay. Sometime between now and the 15th, I need to get a Sami Zayn and the Insaniac shirt. I'm going to bring the Bayley shirt you just gave me.
I think I agree.
I'm going to get them both signed. If I can't hug the both of them.
I've already submitted an email to person in charge of media inquiries for talent relations. See if we can get a couple interviews with somebody. I'm on it, buddy. We're going to get something done.
I don't even care.
We're going to be broadcasting live January 15th.
I don't even care who
Hall.
you get the interview with, but I'm just saying if we got an interview with like Sami Zayn or Samoa Joe,
See, Sami Zayn
there wouldn't
hasn't
even be
been
an there
confirmed.
it wouldn't even be an interview at that point. I'd just be sitting there in the corner of the room, my eyes the size of dinner plates, my hands over my mouth, just going, "Oh my God, can I ask you questions, please?" for like an hour.
So yeah, January 15th, 2016. It's a Friday. We're going to be doing a combined show of the Squared Circle Pro Talk Wrestling on Spreaker, live from the Shopko Hall in Green Bay, Wisconsin, from NXT Live. Oh, I thought we'd never say
This is
that.
gonna be great. Oh my God, I just realized something. If Samoa Joe is there, I've got a buddy of mine. He loves Samoa Joe is legitimately like, if he's been watching wrestling longer than I have.
Yeah.
And if Samoa Joe's not his number one wrestler ever, then he's like in the top 3. So all I'll have to say is, minus the interview thing or anything just like that. So I went to an NXT show. Oh, you lucky bastard. Yeah, I was about 3 feet from Samoa Joe. And he'll just stare at me until my heart explodes from the force of his jealous rage.
Let it be known that the only thing I want happen on January 15th is a hug from Bailey. That's it. That's all I want.
Be good?
That's all I want, and not you. That's all I want. Is let it be known that my little sister wanted to watch us record our podcast today. She's sitting next to you, and she just looked. Her name is Bailey, and she just looked at me and she went, "Give me that. I'm going to give you a hug." Thing. No, you stay away from me. Oh, don't
Can
cry.
you people feel the love through the podcast
Can
right
you feel? Oh, I shouldn't do that. It's a
now?
copyrighted song.
You should also just not do that. It's kind of like how I shouldn't be doing that either.
So let's move on to the next match of NXT Takeover London.
Was that Corbin and Cruz?
It was Baron Corbin and Cruz.
Oh my God! I'm going to say this right now. I loved this match. You know what I really loved about this match?
What?
I loved the ending.
Really?
And I don't mean that ironically. I mean, Baron Corbin is a guy I've had my eye on for a while. And when he first started, when people were doing the 1, 2, they were counting how long the matches were. I was like, this guy's boring. This is terrible. Eventually, the crowd kept doing it because he was boring. And his matches were the same thing over and over. And then they turned him heel. And then he started getting better. And then he started getting good. And then he got really good. And then this match happened. And I just want to point this out. This is not a thing that happens very often in mainstream WWE. It doesn't even happen that often in NXT. The heel won clean as a whistle.
Yes, he did.
And he didn't just win clean as a whistle. He he either took or countered everything the face threw at him. And then, last thing, babyface runs at him, blocks it, flips him directly into his finisher. Now, that being said, if I could complain about anything with this match, maybe it was the way it was. I think because Cruz was losing, maybe that had something to do with it, or maybe because he hasn't quite found that step with how to, take a loss as a babyface, especially a clean loss. There's some element that's missing that I don't think Cruz, I can't believe it's this. I think Cruz was the one who was not quite ready to tell this story the way they wanted it to, whereas Corbin was. And also, just little touches here. And this is great. And I only know this because, well, I do watch some indie wrestling, but the bit where he's leaning over the ropes and he's screaming, you should have gone back. You should have stayed where you came from. You should have stayed in Ring of Honor.
Well, he wasn't in Ring of Honor,
No.
was he?
Apollo Crews, formerly known as Uhaa Nation, has never even set foot in a Ring of Honor show or ring. No, the thing is, I love this idea of Baron Corbin being this super, super, douchey, monster heel who's just kind of drinks the WWE's Kool-Aid a little bit. So, like, the only other promotions he knows about are, like, TNA and ROH, and that's it. And he just throws them out like they're actual talking points. It fucking works. And I loved it. And I was just, as soon as he said that, I went, wait a minute, Uhaa Nation was never in ROH. Wait a minute, hold on. Pause. Go to laptop. Uhaa Nation. He was never in ROH. And I was angry for about 1/10 of a second. And then I just started clapping like a stupid little baby seal and went back to watching my wrestling.
So Baron Corbin wins.
I'm going to be dead before this podcast is over.
Baron Corbin wins over Apollo Crews. Clean, end of days, 1, 2, 3.
Seriously, this match was great.
Yeah, well, there was no bad match at NXT TakeOver London by any means necessary.
Oh, God, no. I mean, even the weakest match on the card was just
the next one.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It wasn't even, oh, was it the weakest? No. Was it the worst? No, it was just the least best.
Yeah, it was.
This was a match that was about the story and the characters before it was about the wrestling, which, given what we saw with Nia Jax, I don't think they had a choice.
Yeah, so we'll go into the next match here. WWE NXT Women's Champion, Miss Bayley, our girl Bayley, not you, Bayley from NXT.
Being horrible.
Will take on Nia Jax for the NXT Women's Champion.
Oh, and speaking of that, something I want to point out. I waited until we got to this match, but it's actually something from the first match.
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever there's two women that are about to wrestle in WWE, what do they say? The following is a Divas match, or the following Divas match is scheduled for whatever. No big deal. Go back and listen to when the announcement's happening for Asuka. The following women's division match scheduled for they didn't use the word diva. I'm pretty sure at this point that shit's just a dirty word in NXT,
I think
and
so.
you're not allowed. I'm pretty sure if they say the word diva, like the following Divas match is scheduled for, on next week's NXT. No, on next week's, you'll hear the shot. No, you just hear women's wrestling or something like that, because you can't. I want that shit to spread to the main roster.
Ever since NXT Takeover respect.
Well, I mean, they were
even Brooklyn.
It's like the following cut is a 30-minute Iron Man match, and they start chanting Iron Woman, and it's just like this shit's not going away. And I think NXT, since they're what NXT is, what happens when WWE isn't stupid and has a brain. They're like in alternate universe. They're the Earth 2 WWE.
Right.
And any of you out there who got that reference, you're not cool. I mean, neither one of us is cool because it was a DC Comics reference, but still. No, but in all honesty, it was just, I dug that. And that plus they did the championship lighting for this. There was just, it worked really well. And Bayley worked really well. And the story of Nia Jax being like, you know what, I steamrolled through all these little, munchkins. I can't be touched. Doing the little casual stepping on Bayley for the pin, nothing. Kicks out, what the hell, how'd this tiny little thing kick out? And then getting surprised with that guillotine choke at the end. That all worked really well. What didn't work so well was Nia Jax. And I remember I spent weeks on my YouTube show, on this podcast, going, oh, she's green. She's green. She'll get better. She'll develop. She's not green. I understand that NXT is supposed to be developmental. I get that. On some level, while it is supposed to be its own program, it's the developmental show for WWE. It's supposed to be the developmental show that gets you ready for TV. This implies that you have the basics down. This implies that you know what you're doing. Nia Jax, outside of a really, honestly, pretty good-looking leg drop, a rear naked choke, and a bear hug, she can't really talk. She can barely wrestle. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think her ring gear looks fucking amazing, and that leg drop is perfect, but anybody can have good ring gear. Anybody can have a good look. Anybody can have a great leg drop.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Is Bayley the top babyface in the entire company right now?
By virtue of, other people being out, I would say yes. I think when Sami Zayn returns, I think it'll be a toss-up between the two of them. I think...
Now, we're not just talking NXT. We're talking the entire company.
Oh, yeah. I'm still sticking with that. But, even with Roman Reigns would probably get mentioned in that by virtue of numbers. Because NXT, even as popular as it has become, even with them selling out, Brooklyn and London, they're still not getting the same numbers and the same amount of popularity as mainstream WWE, even with their numbers going down. So Roman Reigns has the benefit of being on the show that draws more numbers. So I'd say right now, with everyone else out, the top three babyfaces would be Zayn, Bayley, and Reigns. Let's say everyone on the injured list was back or was ready to go at the very least, then I'd say it would probably be in order 1 to 3. Brian, Zayn, Bayley.
Okay. Yeah, just, we talked about it at the beginning of NXT too, is the crowd chants. My favorite one from NXT London was where they were chanting, hey, Bayley!
Ooh.
Oh, man. That was just... And then she, reacted to it. It was, a genuine, this is awesome moment.
I loved it when she's smiling there, and she's like, oh, my God, this is happening, and I love all of you.
Yeah.
And I loved it, if you looked on the edge of the screen, you could kind of see Nia Jax. And this is going to sound weird. It's a moment when bad acting worked to my benefit because you could tell she doesn't have the acting chops to completely, close off her actual feelings on a scenario. You could tell she was trying not to smile. She was trying not to go, oh my God, this is the coolest thing in the world and I get to be a part of it. And I think it's actually kind of nice that she has those feelings about it. Like, you know what? The crowd doesn't like me that much and I'm losing, but I get to be a part of this. Screw it. Although I will say this, the way this match went down, I think we now know who's going to win, Asuka versus Nia Jax. It's Asuka. But, I mean, because they did a little tease of that, but it's just kind of...
That was a fun tease, too. She's like, Nia Jax is doing a promo with, I think it was Tom Phillips.
Yeah, it was Phillips.
And, good God, Asuka's standing, like, in the darkness over there, and Nia Jax goes, are you looking at something? And we pan over to Asuka, and everybody in the crowd went, oh!
And here's the weird thing. As soon as Nia Jax paused, when she first noticed Asuka, from there until she went back and finished the promo, it was great. All of a sudden, her acting and her cadence of speech became natural. It was like, does Asuka just make other people better by being near them? Is this like that joke people tell about the third Iron Man movie where he upgrades that dude's phone by being within proximity of it? Does she make other people better? In which case, Asuka, maybe, I don't know, start making friends with people on the main roster.
Yeah, please.
Maybe, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think he's already good, but if you make things better, spend a couple weeks hanging around Roman Reigns, make him into like the next Stone Cold.
Yeah. So, Bayley wins over Nia Jax.
Rear guillotine choke.
Rear guillotine choke, thank you.
Which worked perfectly. It plays into her ability as a technical wrestler, but at the same time, there's no way in hell. Like, this has nothing to do with, like, I've actually heard a few people, and this confuses me, and I just want to real quick address this. There have been a couple of fans saying that it wouldn't have been believable for Bayley to belly her because Bayley's a woman. I guess we're forgetting the gender of Nia Jax for, the purposes of that argument. But, no, this has nothing to do with that. This has everything to do with the fact that I wouldn't think that if you had someone comparative size, I don't think I would suspect Daniel Bryan would be able to, like, herk up a guy that's comparatively the size of Nia Jax to him and just, belly to belly.
That would be like the equivalent of Daniel Bryan trying to almost
like him
Brock
suplexing.
Lesnar?
Nah, I'd say
Maybe
be more
Roman
like,
Reigns?
No, I'd say be more like, and people say, oh, you're going for the immediate ridiculous one. I'd say it'd be more like him trying to suplex Mark Henry.
Oh, okay.
I mean, because,
a good point.
like, Bayley...
She's a twig.
Yeah, she's like, what, 140-something, 150?
We don't know.
Nia's over 200, so
Yeah,
I mean...
easily.
I mean, and I'm not trying to insult her or anything.
No, God.
Like I said before, I think Nia Jax looks great. It's just, it's a David and Goliath scenario, and so they needed to engineer a way to have Bayley beat her, but they needed it to be something that played to her proficiency as a wrestler, her technical skills. Rear guillotine choke. Perfect.
Yeah. So, final match of the card.
And oh, look, it's the other match that jockeys for position with the first match for what's the match of the night. My point is, this show had bookends, and those bookends were better than you.
Yes, they really were. Oh,
First
Finn
off,
Balor's
Jack the
entrance.
Ripper.
Oh, my God. Finn Balor's entrance.
As someone who over the last year and a half has become a, not just Finn Balor, but Fergal Devitt fan, watched a lot of his stuff from New Japan Pro, I've seen a lot of his entrances. I've seen the Joker entrance. I've seen the Anti-Venom entrance. This is almost on that level.
Yeah, it really was a fantastic entrance.
I didn't think that the advertisements with Jack the Ripper, which, by the way, again, we're advertising a show using one of the country's most notorious serial killers. There's a brilliant move. But still, I didn't think that was actually not only, oh, it's a reference to Finn Balor, his paint, and his entrance. No, that video they use is the exact video that plays on the Titantron before his entrance proper starts. Without you even realizing it, they were giving you part of his entrance. That shit is slick on their part.
That was perfect.
And oh my God, this has been Samoa Joe's best match since he came to NXT.
By far.
Then again, like his last 3 or 4 matches have been like his best match. At this point, as someone who loved Samoa Joe from about like 2006 to 2009, this is the Samoa Joe I knew. In fact, he's beyond that. I think he's gotten right back into the 2005 to 2008 Samoa Joe. He's gone back to being the 2005 to 2008 Samoa Joe that he was known for in ROH. So he's gone past even what I know. And I like the fact that it's NXT that brought it out of him. And that is, in fact, by the way, Samoa Joe and his current level of proficiency is that, and the selling out of a London arena and a Brooklyn arena and the massive amounts of trending on the internet are kind of my response to Kurt Angle's assessment of NXT being minor leagues. I love you, Kurt, but shut up. Go
You're
home.
You're dead wrong.
You're drunk. Also, that bit about, I'm not retiring from professional wrestling, just TNA. Kurt, your neck is a stack of quarters that aren't stacked up properly.
Oh, man.
Sorry, I had to get that out of there. I had to be salty because that was bugging me all week.
This match, I mean, what do you say about this match? This match was just, this match, of course, is what lost us the Central Wisconsin Wrestling Podcast Tag Team Championship title. But,
by the way, did you know that some people are actually turning on Finn Balor for this match?
Really?
Yeah, at first, I disagreed, and I'm not saying I agree, but I can kind of get it. A lot of people who have been fans of Finn Balor were fans when he was Fergal Devitt.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Fergal Devitt is sort of like the Japanese wrestling equivalent of a reverse Hulk Hogan, where Hulk Hogan was a babyface for almost his whole career. He was a heel for almost his whole career over there. And there's a reason why people who have never seen one screenshot of New Japan Pro Wrestling have heard the phrase Bullet Club before. He's a way, way better heel than he is a face. On top of that, don't get me wrong, he did a great job. He didn't exactly do much new. It was pretty much just the usual. He was hitting the Finn Balor greatest hits, which they're the greatest hits for a reason, but it's interesting. NXT has been so good and has brought the best out of so many people, and so many people like Joe are changing their game up, that when Finn Balor just kind of rests on his laurels, people notice. I mean, I think that's very highly indicative of the quality of the entertainment you're getting out of NXT, and just the fact that you can even say that about anything connected to WWE is just kind of like, holy shit.
Yeah, so this match, oh, good Lord. Yeah, just there's really nothing we can say about this match other than you need to go watch it on the WWE Network if you have not seen it.
Seriously, if you've never watched a TakeOver show, watch the opening match, watch this match. And after that, if you're not sold on NXT,
go watch TakeOver Respect.
Seriously, and if that doesn't sell you, we can't be friends.
Yeah.
We can't be friends. You are either that or you are very drunk, and that's like 6 hours of television. How have you drank that much?
Yeah. So, we'll do it again. 1 out of 10. NXT TakeOver London. What do you think, buddy?
9.
9?
I give Respect a 10 out of 10. This one, like I said, it's not quite as good.
Right. It can always improve. 9.5 for me. It can always improve. I don't think I'll ever give it a perfect score. But, oh my God. It's just mind-blowing what these people down at NXT can do.
TLC, TakeOver. TLC, TakeOver, getting kicked in the nuts.
Yeah.
Getting $50.
Yeah. So, all right, now let's move on to the second surprise for tonight.
Oh, that's right. There were 2.
Yeah, you want to have some fun?
I suppose.
Want to make some predictions?
4.
The following predictions are for the 2015 Slammy Awards, and they are for the Squared Circle Podcast Heavyweight Championship. I'm putting my title on the line for you, buddy.
You're putting your title on the line.
I am putting my title on the line for this.
Oh my God, this is going to mean that for the first time since 2009, I'll have to watch the Slammies.
Yes. All right. So there is a cat. There are. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 categories for the Slammy Awards this year. About 8 of which are going to be voted on by fans on Monday, including...
They did that before and then changed the results to what they wanted to.
No, I don't think they will this year. Including Superstar of the Year.
All right,
so let's start. Number 1, Rivalry of the Year. Of the ones that are on the list, what do you think? You got Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins.
Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt worked on paper a lot better than it did in reality.
Yeah, I think you and I will be in agreement on this one. I'll go first. Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker.
Yep.
Hands down.
Not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the one that maybe gets the closest, and I hate to say this, I literally am only doing this. I would only even mention this one for the WrestleMania entrance that Rusev had on, because it's like John Cena came out to images of Ronald Reagan. Rusev came out on a fucking tank.
Yeah, he did. And to be completely honest, Rusev, back when this rivalry started, was much better than he is today.
Oh, God, he was hot fire.
So that'll be a close.
But I would still go Lesnar Taker.
Agreed. OMG shocking moment of the year.
What do we got? We got Seth Rollins cashing in at WrestleMania 31.
Yep. Brock Lesnar lost his mind on Raw after WrestleMania 31.
For me, that one I wouldn't put on there just because that one wasn't really shocking.
Well, now I got all these. There are videos on WWE.com that have all the category breakdowns.
Okay.
So I just copied what they showed for who was nominated for the category.
Oh man, I'm kind of torn because I'm torn between two of them.
Yeah? Do you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
All right, my OMG shocking moment of the year has got to be the Selena Del Sol from Kalisto off the top ladder TLC.
For me, I'm torn between Rollins cash-in and the Wyatt family attacking the Undertaker.
Yeah?
Like, don't get me wrong. The Selena Del Sol, I despite what I'm about to say, I want to make it very clear. I'm not trying to undersell this at all. I've been watching professional wrestling for probably about 23 years now, 22, 23 years. And in that entire time, that's probably one of the most ridiculous spots I've ever seen. Straight up.
Completely agreed.
Oh, yeah.
But
at the same time,
you and I were live streaming during TLC, and we
freaked
lost
out.
our shit.
We freaked out. But that being said, I don't want to say it's just a spot, but it's just a spot. For me, something like the cash-in or the Wyatt family attacking, like the cash-in is something that had that
long-term effects. I mean,
that completely changed the whole year.
Had he not injured his knee, he'd probably still be champion.
Oh yeah, that completely changed the whole year. But the Wyatt family attacking the Undertaker, not a chance in hell would I have ever said that'll happen. No way.
So that's what you're going with?
Right now, I think I'm actually going to have to go with Rollins cash-in.
Okay.
Just because of the long-term effects.
I'll agree. That is my number 2. But
okay.
I don't know. I got to go with the spot. Selena Del Sol. So, extreme moments of the year. There's quite a few good ones on there. Brock Lesnar and Undertaker brawl on Monday Night Raw. Luke Harper powerbombs Dean Ambrose through the ladder at WrestleMania 31. Seth Rollins breaks John Cena's nose. Roman Reigns snaps after the 2015 TLC title match, and Neville takes out everybody off the ladder at Money in the Bank this year.
I think I'll have to go with John Cena's nose getting broken just because it's don't get me wrong, any extreme moment or a weapon shot or anything, that's going to hurt. I mean, for crying out loud, I've watched someone take, the kendo sticks that they have. Those aren't they're not bound like an actual training kendo stick. I've seen a wrestling match where someone took an actual kendo stick, which is basically the equivalent of a tree branch, and broke it over someone's head. Like, damn.
Jesus Christ.
Doesn't need to be anything like that, but they usually hurt. But even then, there's something about when, if someone, he broke his knee or whatever using the chair, there's a difference between, being powerbombed through a flaming table and your nose being, shifted half a foot to the left. I'm going to have to go with the nose.
Okay, I will go with the Brock Lesnar and Undertaker brawl, and it was a brawl.
Oh, that was beautiful.
On Monday Night
Through
Raw
a wall.
Before Hell in a Cell. Oh, man, that brawl. Like I said, I was here at work, and I was watching it live in the studio, and good God, what is happening? So, this is awesome moment of the year. Brock Lesnar destroys J&J Security's Cadillac. Who's J&J Security?
Very funny.
Randy Orton RKO out of nowhere to Seth Rollins WrestleMania 31. Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky Lynch debut on Raw. The Shield, momentarily, I should have put that in quotes, hits the triple powerbomb on Randy Orton at Payback this year during the Fatal 4-Way. And The Rock and Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 31.
This is actually kind of hard.
Yeah, this one's a good category.
I mean, literally everything except for the triple powerbomb. I am really torn. I'm torn between what I honestly think would probably win and ones that I would want to have win. Ones I would want to have win would be the 3 of the 4 Horsewomen debuting on Raw and The Rock and Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 31. But one that I think that I would personally be like, oh my God, this should win, would be Brock Lesnar destroying the Cadillac. So,
it's for the title.
This one I'm gonna let slide in terms of like whether or not I get it. I'm gonna go with what I want, and I'm actually gonna go with The Rock and Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 31 because Ronda Rousey was in a WWE ring wearing a Vegeta shirt. Your arguments become invalid.
And luckily for me, we're going to agree on this one.
Yes.
I'll pick The Rock and Ronda Rousey as one because that literally, I was watching it live. That literally was a moment where I'm like, holy shit, this is so cool. And that was back when Ronda was undefeated and just kicking everyone's ass.
I mean, it was just sort of like,
she had just come off beating somebody, I think, by 13 seconds? 15 at the most?
something like that. For me, it was just like, it's WrestleMania. That's The Rock. It's Ronda Rousey, the only MMA fighter I care about. She's actually, I find her to be a really fascinating person. And she's wearing an over 9,000 Vegeta tank top.
Done.
This could not possibly get better.
Yeah. LOL moment of the year. Edge and Christian battle New Day in a kazoo trombone fight kind of looking thing, if you remember that. The Bushwhackers at the Hall of Fame ceremony with their speech. Oh, God. It was so funny. And then I can't remember the older one's name, but he licked the other one. The Miz and Mizdow debut the Niagara commercial where Miz has erectile dysfunction or something. It was fucking hilarious.
It's stupid, but I'm going with that one.
You're going with it? You okay.
I'm going for the boner joke.
Okay. I will take
so mature.
I will take the New Day dancing with the Authority. I thought that's
a close
really
second.
funny.
That is a close second, but I feel like being immature.
And my second actually is going to be the R-Truth one. R-Truth thinks that he's in the ladder match for Money in the Bank. He comes out, he's like, this Sunday at Money in the Bank, I'm going to climb and then Kane's like, what? What are you doing here? You're not even in the match. And Truth is like, I'm not? Kane's like, no. Oh, okay, sorry. And then he goes back to the locker room. It's like, okay. Double cross of the year. First one on the list, Jon Stewart hitting John Cena with the chair at SummerSlam. Paige turns on Team PCB. Stardust turns on Goldust. Mizdow eliminates The Miz and in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania 31. And Randy Orton turns on the Authority after returning from an ass kicking. This is a tough category. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's going to be Paige. Paige turns on Team PCB.
Jon Stewart, 2015.
You're going to take Jon Stewart.
I hate to be that person. I didn't really like any of these, so I'm just going to go with the one that I disliked the least.
Okay, so let's move on to this next category. There are obvious snubs on this one.
Wait, are these the only... Wait, these are the ones...
These are the only Match of the Year contenders. Yep, Max is walking out. Here are your Match of the Year contenders for 2015. John Cena.
My Match of the Year is the Lucha Underground Trios Championship Tournament Finals. Fuck you, WWE. It was clearly the Iron Woman match, you fuck rats.
Not even in this category. Match of the Year. John Cena.
I'm not a religious person, WWE, but Jesus is looking at you and shaking his fucking head.
Match of the Year. John Cena versus Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins at the 2015 Royal Rumble. Sting versus Triple H at WrestleMania 31.
Whoa, what? You mean the match where we discovered that a baseball bat can cut wood?
That was pretty funny.
John
Cena versus Kevin Owens. Kevin wins his first match against John Cena at 2015 Elimination Chamber. Reigns versus Ziggler versus Owens versus Del Rio in the Fatal 4-Way for the number one contenders match at Survivor Series 2015.
I hate to say this, and maybe this makes me a terrible person, but you kind of have to wonder if Del Rio wasn't one of those things that people used to call him that got him to punch that one caterer.
Oh. See,
he's back with the company, so it's not horrible.
Our special guest in the studio has no idea what the hell we're talking about.
I know.
That makes it so much funnier.
But the people that watch it will, and they're going to get to that point and go,
Yep. And then Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker 2015 Hell in a Cell.
Well, I think we both
Can we write in an option here?
Is this one of the ones that people get to vote on?
Yes, but they can only vote on the ones in the category.
Okay, I will say this. Lesnar, Cena, Rollins at the Royal Rumble, Cena versus Owens, Lesnar versus The Undertaker. Those three, honestly, would probably make it onto my top 10 matches of the year. Now, for me, I'm watching WWE, NXT, Lucha Underground, a little bit of ROH, Chikara, and New Japan Pro. So my top 10 list would be a bit more filled out, but of those three, those were probably the three arguably best mainstream WWE matches. Lesnar versus Taker.
I'm taking John Cena versus Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. I'm taking the Royal Rumble fight.
That was a damn good one.
Yes, that was just an amazing fight. There's no
Brock,
argument.
when all of a sudden Cena wasn't involved for like 5 minutes and Brock Lesnar just decided, you know what, I think I should actually try to go to prison for attempted murder.
Right.
But like I said, then he decided it again when he's like, you know what, suplexes didn't kill the last guy. I wonder if just cracking someone's skull into exposed wood'll do it.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's how it went for that match. So, breakout star of the year. So, out of the people that have debuted this year, Kevin Owens, Neville, Charlotte, Tyler Breeze, and Braun Strowman.
Okay, no joke.
Are we missing somebody on this list? Two people, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe someone whose name starts with S and ends with Asha Banks, but
Even Becky Lynch isn't on this one.
I was ignoring that. Although I will say this, no joke, no lie. Despite the fact that he's green as shit, I do like the fact that Strowman's on here.
That's true. Yeah, I
honestly, I do. But personally, it's going to seem really obvious. I got to go with Owens.
Me too.
He's had the absolute biggest impact.
Yeah, I would agree. Kevin Owens, hands down, breakout star of the year. Diva of the year, Nikki Bella, Naomi, Paige, Sasha Banks, or Charlotte.
So we're just going to, ignore Bailey.
I guess NXT doesn't matter.
She's only, your one of your title. Let's see, there's 2 NXT singles titles. There's the NXT tag. There's World Heavyweight, Intercontinental, US, WWE tag. It's only one of your 7 titles. She's only the most over female in the fucking company.
And she competed in the 30-minute Iron Man match, which is match of the year!
You fucking assholes. Yeah. But, fine. Snub Bailey.
Sasha Banks.
Snub Becky Lynch. It's gotta be Sasha Banks. I mean, come on. I mean, no offense to, Naomi and Charlotte, but...
I'll disagree.
Paige?
She's the new record holder for the Divas Championship.
I will kill you in your sleep.
I, Spencer Hart, on December 17th, 2015, am taking Nikki Bella for Diva of the Year.
She wins, you die.
I need my title back.
She wins, you die. You won't get to hold that title. She'll be in the ground.
These last 2 categories are going to be the most fun.
Oh, this first one's
WWE
easy.
Tag Team of the Year.
Hey, we want some New Day.
I am going to agree with you. It's the New Day. New Day, hands down.
New Day rocks.
And they do. And I've turned over the last year on them.
One of us.
I am one of you guys. All right. Last category.
This is hard.
This is going to be a hard one, and this could decide it. Superstar of the Year. Now, this is a new thing for the WWE Slammy Awards. Any WWE superstar on the roster is eligible for this category.
2 questions. First, define... It says superstar. Does that mean only male?
I am going to assume so.
Okay, second question. Okay,
I don't think NXT would be involved.
Okay, well, then I have only one response. No, does that mean only male wrestlers? Yes. Well, that's bullshit. Does it mean only main roster? Yeah, that's even more bullshit. In that case, Rollins.
Oh, I don't want to agree with you, but I might have to. Because that's who I have. I have Seth Rollins.
Stole your guy.
Oh, let's see here. Do I want to change my vote?
Do you?
Do I really? I, Spencer Hart, am selecting Seth Rollins for Superstar of the Year.
Wait. I need to change mine. I clearly the Superstar of the Year was Bo Dallas.
Yeah. No, it's Superstar of the Year, not Jackass of the Year. I would have picked Daniel Bryan if he was active.
Yeah. If it were last year. Well, he actually won last year, but still. But last year made sense. This year, yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, but...
Yeah. So those are our predictions for the 2015 Slammy Awards, airing on Monday during Monday Night Raw.
Wait, it's not the whole show?
Well, it's going to take much of the show.
Oh, yeah.
I
Probably
mean,
like at least 2 hours of it.
at least. So that's going to do it for NXT. Boy, can we start the
You're
whole
just-
show over?
It's not on point right now.
Just something is wrong with me today where I'm just screwing up everywhere. And I don't know. It's just that we need to let's start the show over and we will pretend it never happened. Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's going to do it for the Squared Circle here on Spreaker.com and iTunes. You want to do a show next week?
I suppose.
Let's do it. Next week, Christmas Eve special for the Squared Circle. So until then, enjoy the Slammy Awards. Enjoy Sami Zayn's return next week.
Oh, I will. Don't worry.
That'll do it for the Squared Circle here. We will see you guys next week. So until then, have a wonderful week in WWE, everybody.